They had the.
Come on, Beth.
If you have enough, yeah.
There we
Stand and
go.
join me for
Well
the Pledge
done,
of
Beth.
Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. So happy you could join us. Happy Valentine's Day. We're going to make this a quick meeting so everybody can get back to their family and enjoy this evening. First, we have a presentation by our new representative, Julie McGuire.
It'd be wonderful.
Hi, my name's Julie McGuire. I'm the new representative for part of Beech Grove, the south and east part of Beech Grove. It's House District 93. I'm excited to be representing Beech Grove. I'm excited I met with Dr. Hammock. We've had great conversations. I'm a huge education supporter. I'm actually on the education supporter at the House of Representatives. We have a lot of great legislation coming down this way. There's going to be some really good provisions in the budget. That's going to be wonderful for Beech Grove financially. So I think everyone's going to be really happy when that's out. We just are in the first half of session, though. The first half will end next week. So a lot of the things we're working on in the House of Representatives will go to the Senate side. We'll work on them over there, and then we'll kind of come out with some good, innovative ideas. And one that I'm really excited about is House Bill 1002. And so that's going to create some career scholarship accounts for students for high school. So high schools will be able to, you'll be able to create some career paths for your students in 11th and 12th grade. It's going to give flexibility for Beech Grove schools to partner with some employers, some other career education centers, and it's going to give money, it's going to give funding to students to have this career account and go out to work on an apprenticeship when you're a junior and a senior in high school. So it's going to get you ahead of the game. If you don't feel like college is where you want to go, it's going to give you dedicated money to go ahead and start working in those fields that maybe you're interested in. Maybe it's teaching, maybe it's dental hygienist, maybe it's an industry such as HVAC, welding, all kind, business, insurance. There's going to be lots of innovation, and Beech Grove schools are going to be given lots of flexibility to develop those career pathways. So it's probably the thing I'm the most excited about, and I'm happy to be representing you guys and look forward to working with everybody and working with the board. And please, if I'm one of your constituents, please, or if you're one of my constituents, please reach out. I'd like to help you with any issues that might be important to you. So, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next item on the agenda is our building reports and student of the month. And since Dr. Beer can't be with us this evening, Dr. Hammock is going to have the pleasure of announcing the students and the principals.
That's right. We are thrilled to have such a packed house tonight to celebrate our Students of the Month as well as our Athletes of the Month. This has been a big month for success stories here in Beech Grove, and we are thrilled to be able to highlight our students, highlight the things that are happening in our buildings, and then highlight the incredible accomplishments of our athletes, our student athletes as well. We are starting a new process this evening that I'd like to talk you all through, because a component of this is making sure that we document the evening. We will start with our high school. Mr. Carr will give us a building update on things going on at the high school. And then the student of the month from the high school will go with Mrs. Garman, who is our Director of Communications right here in the red top, and we'll have a picture taken right after the presentation. That's while our middle school will be giving their presentation. So we're just going to be kind of rolling through things this evening a little bit faster so that we can get you all on to your Valentine's Day festivities this evening, of which I will be on the couch watching television. Mr. Carr, would you please start us off with our Student of the Month and your building update for the high school?
Absolutely. Good evening, everyone. Just a handful of things I'm going to share this evening. In terms of the high school, we've had, as Dr. Hammock mentioned, a pretty busy month. Just a lot of events going on, a lot of kids in a million different directions. Just this past weekend, we finished the production. If anyone was able to come out and see The Man Who Came to Dinner from Mr. Andrew Bush. I want to give Mr. Bush a big shout out as well. Just the amount of time Mr. Bush spends in this place and with our kids is, I told him that I was going to go above his head somehow and put a 10 o'clock time limit on Mr. Bush in this place. So just want to give a big shout out to him. We had fantastic performances from our show choir with Mr. Dean. 11, 12 o'clock at night, they're in Plainfield, and I could just go on and on and on about the amount of time and just how dedicated the staff members are at Beech Grove High School, so I greatly appreciate them. Just recently, we finished our second leg of our Horizon Benchmark assessments, which is directly aligned to SAT, which our juniors will take here in March. And that's a test to help prepare them as well as to help dial in some instructional kind of needs for them. Excited to share that our juniors did show an average of 30 points growth in raw SAT scores, which might not seem too mind-blowing, but it's the equivalent of about 3/10 of a school year worth of growth in about 3.5 months, which at the high school level can be very challenging because our kids come in at such a wide gap of abilities and needs. So very, very proud of the juniors. Coming up, we have just a lot of events for the Riley Dance Marathon and raising money. One of the big ones that I want to just bring up and hope we can see lots of board members and Dr. Hammock is the Polar Plunge coming up March 13th.
Thank you, Mr.
This is just
Fabulous.
mainly
That's
for
real
my
nice.
own sick, twisted. I don't want to do it alone. So you are all welcome to
We're
attend
doing
that.
it.
Ryan Williams is looking at breaking the record for money raised. So we have a bunch of tournaments just coming up and just a lot of great things for Riley Children's Hospital. So for our student of the month, is Miss Kenna Spivey. I've had the privilege of knowing Miss Spivey here since she started here at the high school, and I can tell you she is really transforming into just a leader at the high school. She is currently, one of the courses that she is in is one of our teaching professions course, which we are transferring to dual credit next year, which is going to be great. So really trying to make that pipeline, that robust pipeline for our folks who want to be teachers one day. And she was nominated by Mr. Barker, who's one of our instructional coaches. So not only does he support classroom teachers, he also is helping develop some of our young people to be teachers as well. And Mr. Barker said that Ken has really stepped up this semester, has been very brave to share out with the class, and has grown tremendously in her academic skills and an ability to be a leader and self-sufficient. She is an important part of our class and will make a wonderful teacher one day. And I can't second and third that enough. Kenna, the smile that she has on her face, she literally carries with her all day. So we appreciate her spirit around the school, and she was a very easy nominee because we're definitely proud of her. So, Ms. Spivey.
All right, very good. Next up, we will ask Mr. Morgan, Beech Grove Middle School.
Thank you for having me tonight. Just real quick, I sent you guys a board update or a building update already, so welcome any questions after I get done here. But did want to recognize Mr. Hammer's here with us tonight. He's had 2 sons go through the middle school, and he has just been always very generous with his time. He's DJ'd for us on multiple occasions and just did so on February 6th for our dance. Did a wonderful job. Our kids loved it. So just wanted to give him a round of applause. Thank you. Want to invite up our student of the month at the middle school, Miss Samantha Sargent. Samantha, come on up. So Samantha was nominated by several of our staff members, so I'm going to read what they had to say. And again, just a great young lady that I have next to me here. So it says here by Miss Nagel, Sam is a well-rounded individual who strives to always do her best academically and athletically. She takes advantage of every opportunity to improve. For example, in math, she completed extra credit in order to achieve a grade of 100% or greater. Sam is not only a great example of academic excellence, but is also a role model for other students. She is truly a model hornet. That's from Ms. Nagel. From Mr. Steve Morgan, Samantha is dedicated to her academic success as she is polite and well-mannered. Her commitment to her schoolwork is an example for which all students can learn. Her demeanor in which she carries herself is a testimony to the proper upbringing she has had and can serve as an example for all of us. And then finally, from Miss Harris, Sam is a student and an athlete that gives her all every day at school. She is committed to excellence in everything that she does. Furthermore, when Sam encounters roadblocks along the way, she faces them with determination and grit. She isn't intimidated by a challenge. Sam is quick to ask for help and applies the feedback her teachers give her so that she is always improving. It is such a great pleasure to have Sam in class. She is truly a model student and makes our classroom community a better place to learn. Samantha, thank you for all that you do. Your hard work and character traits are truly a lead for us at Beech Grove Middle School, so thank you.
And next up, we'll have Mrs. Fleming from South Grove Intermediate School.
Good evening. First, I would like to thank our board, Dr. Hammock and her team. As we celebrated Valentine's Day today with Valentine parties in 4th and 5th grade, but also the big milestone dance for 6th graders. You feel the love every day, and today was just a day we got to celebrate it a little more auspiciously, and in doing so, it was nice to kind of end the evening here with you and thanking you for loving our students so much for it through all the roles that you play. So thank you for that on behalf of everyone at South Grove. I too sent my board report to you electronically. I'm available for any questions, as Ryan said earlier. I do have an announcement that didn't make it into that news, and that is that our Essential Skills class, who also runs the cooking club of our school, will soon be setting up their barista shop. So they have been working hard on learning how to measure and do all kinds of fun things with hot cocoa and coffee, always being very careful, of course. So they will be coming around the school and serving hot cocoa and coffee on Friday mornings for anyone who would like to join us for that. At this time, I would love to celebrate Orlando Muniz. So Orlando, come on down. To know Orlando is to love him. Here is what Mrs. Roundtree says. Mr. Muniz is always the first one to group and helps to bring others along. He always cooperates and helps the group work together to solve whatever academic problem we are facing. He is an advocate for himself, letting us know what he needs. Mrs. Young adds, Orlando is one of the most patient students with whom I've ever had the pleasure of working. His willingness to work hard and quiet perseverance sets a great example for his peers. From Mrs. Garrett, Orlando is such a pleasure to have in my classroom. He exceeds the expectations and designing process of all STEAM challenges. He pushes himself to be the best student he can be. If he fails, he pushes himself harder to succeed. I'm so honored to have him as one of my students. Here's what Mr. Duffy says. Orlando has been a pleasure to have in class this year. He always comes to class with a positive attitude and follows instructions the first time. He interacts very well with his peers and gets his work turned in on time. I sometimes see him helping others around him when he's finished with his own work, which speaks volumes. Orlando has an outstanding personality, and I know he'll be successful at whatever he wants to do in life. There are several others who responded, but I'm going to skip down to the final one here from Mrs. Ross, one of his homeroom teachers. Orlando demonstrates all 7 of the healthy habits daily. A few to mention. Orlando is always proactive and ready to do whatever needs to be done, no matter if he enjoys it or not. He prioritizes completing his work and still is there for his friends when he is finished. While sometimes he encounters obstacles, he stays motivated and pushes through with a smile on his face. And you gotta love those dimples. He makes everyone around him happy and works daily in his groups to grow academically, sharpening his saw. I am very proud of his growth this year. He's an amazing student, and frankly, he is an amazing human being. Orlando, congratulations. This is for you, and this is for you. Let's put your picture.
Wonderful. Next up, we'll have Mrs. Cotter from Central Elementary School.
I did not email my report, but I do love that idea. I will, however, keep it a little bit short tonight. So this year at Central, one of our biggest initiatives is providing both students and teachers with equitable opportunities. We really want to grow our teachers and keep them at Central. We have a stellar staff. I've talked about this over and over again, and we want to keep them at Central. They're amazing. They do wonderful things. Part of that is providing them the support that they need to continue to grow as educators. We love to model for our students that we're lifelong learners. So our focus with our instructional leadership team has really been on effective coaching strategies and differentiating the support that we're providing teachers. Currently, we are in our 2nd cycle of announced observations. And I've been touching base with teachers after they've had post-conferences with their mentor teachers, instructional coaches, and the feedback that I'm getting is incredible. They've reported that the coaching that they're receiving is intentional, it's meaningful, they can apply it directly to the classroom right now, and they see it impacting student achievement. So as a building leader, that's really exciting to hear because that was part of the intentionality of focusing in on coaching strategies. With students, part of our goals in cluster have been intentional as well. We're focusing on progress monitoring at students' levels. So whether that's, letter sound fluency, other phonemic awareness strategies, we're really honing in on what students need, providing them with direct interventions, and then following up with progress monitoring so that we can gauge if our strategies are effective or if we need to circle around and try something else. With that, we're getting a lot of great data that we can share with families. And so we've been traditionally we have parent-teacher conferences in October. We've been inviting a lot of families in lately to, again, discuss student achievement and student progress so we can be real with families and say, hey, your kid is progressing as should be, or hey, these are some areas that we need to work together to hone in on and really help to gain some academic success. So it's all been really positive, and we're seeing kids grow in ways that they haven't before, just again by targeting specific interventions. So teamwork makes the dream work, and hopefully we'll keep at it, and you'll see some great scores here soon when we take iRead next month. Okay, that was very short. Now the fun part, Abby Rim, can we have you come up for So excited to have Abby here. She's the daughter of Tasha and Joe Rim. Joe couldn't join us because he had a game tonight. Abby's one of the hardest working students that I've ever met. She's just a 3rd grader, but she gives it her all no matter what she does, whether she's in the classroom, working with kids, and just being a kind friend. She really exemplifies what Beech Grove Hornet Pride means, and she does it on a daily basis. She was nominated by her art teacher, Mrs. Durst, but many, many other teachers throughout the building had wonderful, wonderful things to say. Abby, your second grade teachers, Mrs. Zeller and Mrs. Mercado, described you as having an incredible work ethic and a go-getter attitude. They recalled that Abby was an incredible role model and she showed kindness to all students around her each and every day. Miss Lawson has had the opportunity to have Abby in her math enrichment group for the past 2 years. And she shared that Abby joins the group each day, eager and excited to learn higher level math skills. She said that Abby is always helpful, works hard, and is kind to her peers. Ms. Muir, Abigail's homeroom teacher, stated, Abby is a wonderful student that excels in every aspect of her day. She is caring, a good friend, helpful, and a great sport. She's a role model for others and is quick to lend a helping hand. Along with her respectful and responsible demeanor, she has an amazing sense of humor and continues to put a smile on my face every day. I look forward to seeing the amazing person she will continue to grow into as she progresses through life. Your reading teacher, Mrs. Weimer, said, Abby is simply brilliant and truly hilarious. She has a zest for life and an extremely genuine heart. Perhaps her greatest quality is that she is a kind and loving friend. I truly enjoy having her in class and know that she will excel in anything she puts her mind to. She said, congratulations, Queen of the Stars. I know Abby's a name we're going to continue to hear throughout her career at Beech Grove. Please join me in congratulating her as our Student of the Month.
Wonderful. And now we'll have Mrs. Erin Probus from Hornet Park Elementary School.
Hi there, everyone. I'm Erin Probus, principal at Hornet Park Elementary School. And on this day, this Valentine's Day, I have kind of a different brief report for you. Dr. Hammock's been facilitating conversation amongst our leadership team, just revisiting important key pieces of what we do, like our mission, our vision, our core beliefs. That mixed together with Valentine's Day, I just want to talk a little bit about love. Yeah. Okay? So if you have not heard me say, shame on me, but at Hornet Park, our philosophy is that we love them first, and then we teach like mad to make sure they have the skills they need to be successful. You see that in our classroom communities, in us caring for the emotional well-being of our students. Heck, we even have a heart-related arts curriculum class, right? And the Beatles song says, all you need is love. And there's some truth to that, but I also think that we need and we are thankful to have incredible teachers, strong curricular materials, beautiful, safe facilities that facilitate learning, community partners and support, and our beloved students. And you know, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, although I would like to project that it is. Sometimes we face struggles, right? That could be undesired behaviors at school or emotional dysregulation. And I'm reminded of a saying I have in my office that says, sometimes those who need love the most will ask for it in the most unloving of ways. And so I'm just thankful to be a part of a school and a school community that loves students first and responds in supportive ways. So whether you're working with your kiddos at home or whether we're working with your students here at school, whether it's the little preschoolers all the way up to our seniors in high school, whether we're talking academics or behavior, I want us to remember what Mother Teresa said, that small things done with great love is what changes the world. So at Hornet Park, we're trying to change our little world. It's a part of the collective effort we're doing here and on the bigger picture. So on this Valentine's Day, I love you all and I love Beech Grove City Schools. Happy Valentine's Day. All right, soapbox off. I have a bummer alert. That's what I say at the end of every school day. Maya Marion was our student of the month, dressed to kill today. She was ready. Dr. Hammock got to meet her this morning. She reluctantly went to the nurse's office this afternoon, saying, I can't go, I won't get my star trophy.
Oh.
So poor little thing is not well, but I invited her to next month's meeting, and we will celebrate her at that time.
She's yummy.
So my only announcement, though, is exciting news that the Hornet Park Early Childhood Center, as we're kind of, in the home stretch of our first year of being filled to capacity, which is great. On March 1st, we're going to open enrollment for the 23-24 school year for Beech Grove City Schools employees and current preschool families. And then on March 6th, we will open to the public. So tell your neighbors and friends, we're opening up for next year. Thank you, guys.
Incredible. So thank you so much to our building principals and our students of the month. We'll talk about you guys here in just a second. But this is now a time where we turn towards athletics specifically. And I'd like to hand it over to Mr. Garrett Daniel, our athletic director here at Beech Grove High School. He's going to celebrate 2 extraordinary student athletes.
Yes. Yeah, it was way too difficult based on some of our success, the 2 athletes joined me this evening, to decide on one, so we're going to recognize 2 of them. We'll first start off with Donnie Sutton from the bowling team. And I'd also like to call his coach up here, Coach Barnhart.
Yeah.
So it's always nice to have the coach show up here because then he can talk definitely more about Donnie and the day-to-day interactions and all the times went into him to develop to where he got to. But I'll talk a little bit about why he's here tonight. The bowling team won sectionals of the team and advanced to semi-state in January, led by Donnie Sutton, who as an individual placed 3rd in sectionals, 1st in regionals, and placed 2nd in semi-state. He will compete in the state championship in February, which obviously has happened, and he actually finished 8th place. So,
Amazing. And
that's
that's
great.
great.
Coach Barnhart, say a few words about Donnie.
First of all, I'd like to thank Mr. Daniel for giving us the opportunity to have him. When I came to you, you went to bat for us, and we appreciate it. So, there's not a whole lot to say about Donnie when it comes to bowling. He's been bowling since the bowling ball, I think, was still taller than he was. I don't think he could even hold the ball when he first started, but he's been bowling for a while. He actually had a perfect 300 game this year in high school bowling.
Amazing.
And in his youth league this year, he bowled a 3-game series of an 844. For those of you that aren't real familiar with bowling scores, that's about 33 strikes out of 36?
Oh my gosh.
So, out of 36 possible strikes, yeah. He was definitely one of our leaders this year. He, there were times when he put the team on his back and carried them, but we did have a great team for support. Yeah, don't turn around, Caden. Caden was our mouth of the team, and of course, Mr. Chris Hammer back there, he spearheaded the support we had at semi-state and at state for Donnie. We had a great turnout from the Beech Grove students and a lot of teachers, and we really appreciate it. But we've got another year with Donnie. We fell a little bit short of expectations this year because when you're as good as he is, you expect to bring home a championship. But we've got one more year to do that. So we'll go for it next year.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And I'd like to say good luck.
All right, next up is Jack Broadwell from our Beech Grove High School wrestling team. So unfortunately, Ryan, Coach Williams, couldn't be here this evening. He is busy getting his suit. He is super excited that Jack has given him his first opportunity to do the Champions Walk, right? Coach Williams is out getting fitted for his suit tonight, so I'll be talking on behalf of the wrestling team. First off, just talking about Jack as an individual before I get to his accolades. Jack is just the gentle giant when you see him in school, right? And he's kind of developed over those years to really develop into that kind of really competitive student athlete when it takes to be so successful as he is this year. But that's the one thing I love about Jack is I'll never, ever have to worry about him as a student athlete and the way he represents our community. He makes me very proud. I'm going to tear that emotionally. So, he's a great kid. Really enjoyed seeing him grow over the 4 years. I think, if I am correct, this is now my senior classes, now the first 4 years groups have had. So But yeah, Jack, great kid. Really happy for him, and I wish you luck this Saturday. Jack did for January 1 sectionals at Southport. Had an overall record of 32-3 at the time. Not only does Jack excel on the mat, but he will also be an academic all-state wrestler and just finished his scouting career with the prestigious title of Eagle Scout.
Oh my gosh.
Which is an extremely difficult goal to accomplish. Coach Williams is very proud to be part of this kid's life. So there you go, Jack.
While we're getting that last picture, we've really come to a space in our meeting where we've ended with our celebrations, but we just wanted to leave you with a couple of parting words. First, this is directly to the families that are here tonight. Please hear us when we say that these celebrations are a direct result of all of you, right? It takes wonderful families, wonderful community supports that position our students to be able to excel and realize achievements. But also what I heard from every single student tonight is that you're not just achieving academically or athletically, but you're just great people. And I think you'll find that in life, that's the most important thing. So you all make us Hornet proud. And students, thank you for your walk. Thank you for your leadership. Jack, my husband, texted me yesterday morning and he said, "Jack is a beast." And I'm like, who are you talking about? He was watching YouTube videos of you, apparently. So just know that we are proud of you for all of your accomplishments on the court, on the mat, in the classroom, and just being a good person. So thank you so much for that. We're Hornet proud of all of you. So at this phase in the meeting, we actually transition and we allow for all of our families and community members to leave because we expect that you probably aren't super interested in the business side of things. So we usually take 5-10 minutes and transition. Thank you for being with us tonight. Families, if you'd like to take a photo with your whole family by the Hornet, please do that on your way out. And then we'll start our business meeting here in about 5 or 10 minutes. Thank you all for coming.
Our agenda is Trent Newport from Crossroads Engineers is going to speak to us this evening.
As much as you guys would love to hear Trent speak,
Yes.
I'm going to entertain
This is
you
Morgan.
tonight.
Yes.
My name is Morgan Sapera. I work
I'm
with
sorry,
Crossroads.
Morgan.
No,
I
No,
didn't
you're totally
know you
fine.
were speak.
You're
I
totally
said your
fine.
name.
And we have Trent here for any other questions or anything like that. I think last time Trent came and presented this project to you, you guys kind of just went over the general overview of what this project was going to be. Now that we've gotten further into the design and had some further meetings with Dr. Hammock and Tom, I know that this is you guys may be looking for more details, so that's kind of what this presentation is about, and then we'll get into maybe some more of the business aspects of it kind of at the end. So this is the general alignment, the overview of what Hornet Greenway is going to be looking like. This is going to connect to the Franciscan Trail and kind of further transportation for pedestrians in Beech Grove, and hopefully bring some more people in and around your guys' facilities, and hopefully useful for you guys with your school and any team aspects, that kind of stuff. So we are starting at Hornet Avenue, just behind the bank, BMB area, and then we'll kind of follow the tree line, curve around to the backside of the community center, and then curve again down to Adelaide Street, where we will have a pedestrian crosswalk. As we know, lots of kids in around this area, so it will be push-button facility. Safety, very important. So we'll continue along Adelaide up to the neighboring subdivision, kind of going around your guys' fields. Then we will connect with your guys' existing 10-foot sidewalk in and around what you've already got going on. Then go around your bus parking, around another field, and then connect to existing facilities just south of Churchman Avenue. So it's a little over a mile long. This is going to be an asphalt trail, so hopefully you guys can get good use out of it. And then getting into the specifics a little bit more. The main reason that we're here tonight, this project has about 3 different property owners that we are kind of crossing, one of them being the city of Beech Grove, so we won't need any easements or documentation from them. But we will, at some point, need that from you guys in order to move forward with this project. And then another small parcel near Adelaide Street from Steely Park Industrial, which we are working through right now. We have some stream impacts, so there are some drainage channels that are going to be realigned in and around this area, but nothing too substantial. And then there is a wetland that is close to the bus parking area that we are impacting slightly, but nothing substantial. We actually don't have any mitigation for this project, which is really good. But we are planning on putting trees in and around the backside of the community center just for privacy reasons. And so there is opportunity for that as well. So.
I have a question.
Yeah, of
What's
course.
a gabion basket?
I am going to get into that, I swear.
Okay.
Coming up next. So, as I stated before, the purpose for this project is to improve the pedestrian facilities in and around Beech Grove. This does connect with the Franciscan Trail across Emerson, and we just want to continue to help make Beech Grove accessible for everyone. And especially your guys' school system and children and families coming to see their kids play sports, all that stuff. So, gabion baskets. So that'll be the picture on your left. And so we're going to be including these next to the bus parking because there is a very steep drop off, as I'm sure you guys are aware. There's a creek going through there, and instead of a retaining wall, that would be about 30 feet high. We are going to be kind of stacking these gabion baskets on top of each other. It'll mimic a creek channel. So it has like natural characteristics, which we believe is suitable, and also a financial consideration. So
You have those at Sarah Bolton Park. If you remember around the bridge, there's some big gating baskets there. So there are rocks in a basket. The rocks basically hold them in place. You've seen Sarah Bolton flood.
Yes.
The baskets hold the rocks in place during a flood situation. So they can't wash away.
Gotcha. Learned something new today.
Because a lot of people would be like, why you put the rocks in baskets? That didn't make any sense, but it's actually just to hold it
Well,
in
it
place
actually kind of does.
during high water.
another important feature that we have, we wanted to mimic this to the Franciscan Trail as much as possible, and so there is going to be some fencing, especially along that creek and where the gabion baskets are going to be. So the wood fence will be there as just a safety precaution for pedestrians. And then again, at Adelaide Street, we are going to have a push button activated street crossing just for the safety of everyone using it. And then you guys can kind of see we have a 12-foot wide path, and there's going to be stone shoulders on both sides, and that'll match the Franciscan as well. Some amenities, similar to the Franciscan, we are going to be having trailheads. One is going to be right at the beginning of our project, coming off of the sidewalk at Hornet Avenue. The second will be connecting to the subdivision on the east side of the project, next to the field. And then another trailhead where we will be connecting to your guys' sidewalk. And then a final fourth one where we'll be connecting to the existing facilities just south of Churchman. These are going to be approximately 20 foot in diameter, so a little bit of a larger imprint than what that path is. And we've been working with Mater Design on that, so they're not finalized yet, but that's where you can expect, I would assume, benches, trash, and signs for the Hornet Greenway, and just showing you where you are. So the current project cost is about $2.1 million. The City of Beech Grove will be funding 20% of that, and federal will be funding 80%. We are planning at this point to bid this project in December, which is moving it up a little bit just due to tree clearing requirements that we have and bats and endangered species. But you can anticipate construction for this project happening in the early springtime of 2024, and we're currently anticipating it to be about 12 months long. Maintenance of traffic, obviously a lot of this is not happening next to a roadway, so we're not anticipating much vehicular impact, but it is a construction zone, and we're going to be needing to get trucks in and out and construction equipment in and out. We're going to try and move that away from roads just to limit the impact that's going to be for you guys specifically, but I would anticipate a little bit of give here and there. Right away, which is the main reason that we are here. As I mentioned, the Seeley Park parcel is in the process of acquiring, but you guys have the majority of the property for this project, and we would really appreciate and hope that partnering with you guys and the success of this project, we're very hopeful that you guys would donate a permanent path easement and then temporary for grading and for access for those construction vehicles and such. If you wouldn't mind putting up the exhibit.
I will say while he's doing that, there have been some things that we've talked about in the past. I think we brought them up actually when I presented here the first time, and had some meetings since then. There were some concerns. One of them was how close the path is to the south side of the elementary. It is lower. There's a wall there with a stairway, so but there is still kind of a view shed, so we're going to line that with some evergreen trees as part of the project. Another concern was just we're on the back side of the high school building here, and we're going to put if you've ever seen, like, there's an existing chain link fence you guys have there next to the parking lot. Have you ever seen like the green screen against that? So we're going to do that green screen on the back side of that. And then the railing she was talking about is kind of on the other side where it's going to be steep. But that'll kind of take that visual part off of the back side there. This is just like the Franciscan Trail, a dusk to dawn. So the signs will say that. We have not heard, maybe you have, of any huge issues with the trail at nighttime. We've definitely seen, I use it a lot. It's connected to where our office is at. We see a lot of use of it, so I think that's going to be a good thing. And I know there were a lot of concerns about security and so forth. And I think the city's response is, if there's those concerns, then we'll beef up what we're going to do with cameras, with people, with policemen on bikes, with all these kind of things. But really, I don't think they've experienced those, and that's great. And so that would be the same expectation here. The features like the nodes and the signs that she talked about that are the push button, these are going to be the same things you see on Franciscan. The signs will be a little different. There's going to be a design that will be more with the hornet on it, and the name will be different, but it's kind of the same structure and look aesthetically that you see on Franciscan Trail now. So the other thing is out at Emerson, that crossing, if you remember, if you saw, the Franciscan Trail did not get constructed over to Emerson. So that is going to be constructed over there, probably not as part of this project, but on the heels of it, to put a trail node there. In the meantime, before that time, the City of Indianapolis is doing a job for resurfacing on Emerson Avenue, and they're going to update the pedestrian crossings there and make those better. They're not going to fix the world, but they are better. They're going to be better striping across. They're the newer signals that have for handicap, for hearing aid, and so forth. And so they are going to improve that, and they're redoing the ramps. And at the same time, before this project, the city is doing a project to resurface Hornet Avenue east of Emerson. And during that project, they're going to replace any panels that are broken on the south side, because there are some between the bank and where we're doing it. So there's several broken panels. And then they're going to add a sidewalk on the north side of Hornet. They bought some right-of-way from those apartments there. So those are all be things that will probably happen even maybe before this project goes.
Do you think that they'll do a little bit more with the median on Emerson, just in case people get to the median and then the sign changes and doesn't give them enough time to get all the way over?
I don't think they have the room with the width that it is right now, the median that you're talking about, because there's a turn lane there.
Yeah.
To go into where the restaurants and everything are. It's like 4 feet wide, and so it's not, like, if you try to make it look like it is a safe haven in between a signal, then somebody with a bike's going to try to use it and they can't fit. So then it becomes a danger. So you have to have a wider median, which would take an expansion of Emerson. I don't think that's part of what they're doing right now. Not that it might not be someday.
They could set the timing up on that box for as long
I was
as they
going to
want.
say, do you think they'll still
They will update the timings on the crossings to be better.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, to give you longer time, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
you could literally set it to 3 minutes if you wanted to, every time that it was triggered.
Yeah.
So just going over one more time. So actually, your guys' property starts about right here and then goes through all of these all the way up. So the permanent path easement that we'd be looking for, which would just be for the path and then the shoulders, is about 1.37 acres altogether. And then the temporary, which is for all of the grading, the little dash lines that you see, all that stuff, through getting that documentation prepared for you guys, but we wanted to get you this information as soon as possible, and especially because I think you guys have a meeting next month, which I don't believe that we will be at, but so that you guys can see this now and then hopefully approve path easements for us to keep moving forward.
So
If
do
we,
you, sorry, go ahead.
if we approve path easements and we decide to develop that property there, obviously we would have to make it accessible, so we destroy what you guys put in and we replace it, but that wouldn't be an issue, correct?
Wouldn't be an issue. I think that the path easement will kind of handle those kind of situations, and we're going to use the front-end document that we already vetted through you and your attorneys. We'll go back to the attorneys, but it's the same one we used for all the work that we used at the middle school.
Right.
If you remember, we did that Safe Routes to School project, and we had to get easements, and it's the same kind of documents. The city is responsible for maintaining the path. You're responsible for grass and everything around it, just like you were. So same, we did it on Franciscan Trail too, right behind that middle school. But any changes there that you would have, you just coordinate with the school for replacing it. Yeah.
So do you envision this sort of as a separate pathway, or do you envision it connecting to the original pathway? And if so, how do you envision going around the back of the high school and past the buses and all? How do you envision it coming back down to get back over to Emerson, back down to the trail? Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, so,
I can't answer.
so I guess to answer your first question, I really see them as separate, but they are connected from the standpoint that they are connected by a sidewalk. So the sidewalk that's on Hornet is what connects them on the south side of Hornet.
But
So you
you're
cross
taking-
Emerson.
Right, but you're taking it around up to the back, which is closer to Churchman. Are you envisioning the walker coming back, like, past the admin building,
I would
past
say
the
they
high
have
school?
all kinds of options. They could come back the path that they went if they're just trying to run mileage. If they're walking, they could walk out to Churchman. And then we did the project through you guys on Churchman, if you remember right, and the crossing there goes up to the apartments, goes to the park to the east, goes all the way out east to the roundabout, connects those neighborhoods out there. So literally people can connect all the way. Somebody that's on a neighborhood east on Churchman can now get down Churchman onto this, into your property, all the way around, all the way down the Franciscan Trail, all the way to Sarah Bolton Park. They can come back on street sidewalks along Churchman, from the park and so forth. So if you don't want to backtrack, you can make a loop. The path is a better facility than, say, the sidewalk on Churchman.
Because
as far as width, but
if you come Churchman and you come past the gas station at the corner, I'm not sure there's a sidewalk right around there. If they wanted to come around and come back and then go back to where they parked, let's say.
there's not sidewalk on your property. It's on the road. You'd be on the road, like across in front of the administrative building.
No, if you're saying that we're going to go down Churchman and we're going to go to Emerson, and I'm going to turn left from the gas station coming south, I don't believe there's sidewalk right there. Are they going to put sidewalk in there so that you could take it back to where the sidewalk is?
Yeah, I'm not
at
certain that
Hornet?
there's sidewalk all along Emerson, and we'd have to look at that City of Indianapolis job, 'cause that's the
Okay.
City of Indianapolis street.
Okay.
They might be adding that sidewalk, but I'm not sure.
I just want to make sure everybody's going to
Yeah.
be safe wherever they're walking,
Well,
that's all.
I can speak for the loop that I ran before,
Yeah,
and that would be going up to Churchman and taking Churchman to the park,
okay.
all the way. Just
Okay.
stay on Churchman, you cross 9, you end up back in the park, and that brings you to loop back to Franciscan Trail. So I haven't added it up, but the other was 3, this is 1. That's probably a 5 or 6 mile loop.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get them back, if they park over by the park at South Grove, and they come up the trail and around, and they want to go back to their car, I'm just trying to prevent them from going all the way down through the park if they don't want to go that far. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they could cut down
I didn't mean to
Fourth,
cut you off.
they could cut down Fourth and get on it at Fourth, and then take it back behind South Grove and go that way.
Good point, good point.
Yeah, I think there's always a way.
Just-
and I'll-
just
I'll
trying to
also
figure
say
it out.
that All we're gonna see is more site, in areas where we have gaps right now, you're only would get filled in the future.
Okay.
So development or new projects.
Sorry, that was
For instance,
PTSD.
Indianapolis, whenever they do a road job now, and I think most of the communities around Indianapolis are the same way, we just don't build streets without adding walks now. You know, we used to, but now it's a really big focus on pedestrian connectivity that everybody's really focused on.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
It's actually, this project got funded through the MPO. It's one of their requirements for their project applications. If you're doing a street, you need to have a pedestrian aspect to it, or they won't fund it. So I think you'll see those gaps take care of themselves over time.
Thank you.
Main and protect that bike path, the bike lane on Main. It's just saying, if they put sidewalks in on Emerson when they redo Emerson, if you came out on Churchman and then you hung it and went to Main, there's the bike lane all the way from Emerson to Sarah T.
Gotcha.
That's designated there. It goes all the way to 13th. And then you could either turn, I think it might go all the way to 16th, where it enters into the park off of Main Street. So there's some of that infrastructure there. There's, like you said, some holes. But I think it's more connected than we think it is. We just have to visualize a little bit better.
Any other questions?
Just for the board's information, so Tara and Mr. Gerhardt and I, we just really appreciated the opportunity to connect with you all. I guess it was just a week or so ago. We just know that you all like to hear information, and then you have at least 30 days until our next board meeting. They've been so wonderful. If you have questions that pop up between now and when we will actually ask for your approval of the easement, just don't hesitate. I can facilitate those questions or whatever works. We just don't want we want you to have the information that you need when we ask you for that approval next month.
Yeah, and our goal would be to have all the legal documents here next month. Worst case would be the next month. This is well in advance of when, the project goes to bid, but through NDOT. We have to have all these things lined up by this summer, so we're trying to get everything taken care of now.
Very good. Good, thank you.
Awesome,
you.
thanks, guys.
Okay, we are going to skip everything else and go right down to minutes and claims. So we need a motion to approve the minutes from January 10th meeting.
I move we approve the minutes.
Rob, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion to,
Madam President, may I back us up for just two motions
did
that
I miss something?
we have a motion under personnel update, and that's just approving the employment recommendations.
Oh, you are absolutely right.
And
Do we have any questions about the employment recommendations before we do a motion for that? Could somebody please approve that motion?
Motion.
Rob? Beth, was that you? Yes. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And you want to do the operations update even though,
And I don't think Mr. Gerhardt needs to give an update. Everything that he had was in his, the document in the packet. But we do have that third amendment that we'll need to approve that we talked about during last month's meeting.
did anybody have any questions about the amendment? Who would like to approve that amendment?
I'll move we approve the amendment 3 to contract.
Thanks,
second.
April. Who'll second?
Tara?
Tara, sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, now.
There we go.
Could we get a motion to approve the claims for January?
Motion.
Second.
Jill, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? A motion to approve the 12/9/22, 16, 23, 22 payroll as presented.
That's fixing from our last meeting.
Yeah.
I'll move it.
Who was that?
April.
Beth, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion, okay, so we've already gone over and talked about all of the committee assignments. So we need a motion to approve the amended committee assignments as we had discussed. Rob?
Second.
It's still listed.
Was it
Yeah,
Jill?
we've amended
We
them.
fixed it.
This is the last year's.
Sorry.
Yeah. but
Jill,
we'll have
all in
everything.
favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I got them for you.
Rob did it. Rob. Yep, then me.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve the fundraisers.
April? Yes.
April,
I'll second it.
Jill, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And we have a field trip, I think for the baseball team, right?
That looks like fun.
To Louisville, right?
Yeah, they're doing. That'd be wonderful. The
Close.
Bat Factory and.
Who would second that, please?
I'll second it.
Jill, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Who was the
Rob.
Rob,
It's the Robin Jill show on
Robin Show on fundraisers and
it's the
field
Rob
trips?
show. Do you have a committee report that you want to share?
I emailed out the things
Had Rob
about
and
the
Jill.
discipline, and if you have any questions or anything, just let me know. They've finally broken ground.
Yay. Finally, goodness.
That's taken a long time.
Yeah, it sure has.
If anything else we need to talk about?
Love you all.
Oh, we do have one thing. It's Rob's birthday today. He's our little Valentine. So could we get a motion
Rob,
to
is this
it?
a big birthday?
Yeah.
Like a round number?
the big 50.
34. I was going to say 35.
Welcome to the group.
And where are you celebrating tonight, Boz?
Primary and high school because my game started 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I'll motion.
Okay.
Rob, second.
Second.
Jill, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Good night, everybody.
Wow,
Happy
guys,
Valentine's
this
Day.
is a world record. Congratulations.